Welcome to part two. All right, so in this video, we're going to, let's say, let's look at this format. This is the output we're going to be eventually getting. So let's create a last and first name column, because right now, remember, there's the details, all the names are all contained into one single field, and we want each last and first name to have its own column. So let's do that now. All right, so you can do this before or after you've combined everything. And to be honest, I forgot. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but you can hit this clear button and it'll clear all that garbage up. But performing functions on your data and changing things and formatting it, all that good stuff, it's best to do it beforehand. Of course, there are some instances where your only option is to do it afterwards. But for now, I'm just going to do it before we combine everything. All right, we're going to create those two new columns. So how do we do this? All right, if we look back at our details file, we can see that the first and last name are separated by a comma and a space, right? All of them are. So what we can do is use a component called, I believe it's called, you know what? I know it has the word delimit in it, so let's search for delim, and we'll use t extract delimited fields. And we'll just drag that out here, and let's. Oh, you know what? This is going to go down here actually because it's part of the details file. So let's put that over here, and let's name this to. Double click it. There we go. We'll call this split name. All right. Okay. All right. So let's put that over here actually. Okay. So how do we've already connected this, so how do we divert this to go back up, go through here and then go back up there? Well, what you do is you click to select the label again, and then you go right up to that black dot until you see the crosshairs, and you click and you just drag it. Now let's make some more room. So I'm going to shift click this and kind of just drag it out. Just kind of drag this one out too. And let's move this there. Okay. And then I personally don't. Well, let me just do this. Let me connect split name up here. All right. Now it's called row 3. We don't want that because if we go into the tmap component, it's going to say row 3. We don't want that. So let's call this row 0, and we'll call this details rows. All right. And you see there's nothing in details right now because the split name isn't doing anything. If we go to edit schema, there's nothing in the output. So let us all right, so if you go to edit schema, right, you can see everything that's coming in, and right now nothing is coming out of our split name component here. So you can either just hit this plus button and just do that over and over, or easier, you can just hit the sync columns button and then go to edit schema, and you'll see everything is here. Now, what we don't want is the name, right? We don't want the name coming out of here because the name has the entire full name in one field. We want to create two new fields that have the first and last name. And we want to leave that full name behind. So to do that, let's hit the X on name, and then let's hit the plus button, and we'll call this first name. Hit the plus button again, we'll call this last name. I believe that's the order, let me check. Oh, no, last name then first name. So let's move that up, there we go. All right, and we want to split the name, and the separator is a comma and a space, remember? Comma and space right there. Now, if we go to combine everything, we can see all these fields are here now. But if you look, and this you need to be sure to remember to check. The customer IDs aren't connected anymore. So just drag and drop that customer ID to link them together. Whoops, nope. That is not what we wanted to do. Let me cancel. Go back in here. All right, this customer ID, just drag and drop it. There we go. All right, and details rows name, we don't want that anymore. We want the last name now, and the first name, each in their own separate columns. So let's hit apply, hit yes, hit OK, hit yes. And if we go to output, let's make sure that those fields match up. Let's look for that edit schema button, edit schema. And yep, sure enough, last name, first name, okay. All right, okay, so let's give this a shot. Let's see how this comes out. All right, let's go in. And there we go. We got the customer ID, the amount, the first name, and the last name. Okay. Or that might have been last name and first name. Okay, so let's clear that. And now let us, what do we want to do now? Let's add the total amount. You know what? Let's do something simpler. This is kind of cool actually. Let's do the full address, because remember, we want the street address and the city state field. We want to combine those, and it's so easy. Okay, to do that, let's see. Okay, all right. Let's combine everything. Let's click that, and you really don't need to do much here. All you have to do is go to the spreadsheet, and we want to create a new column here. Let's call it full address. And it's literally as simple as this. You drag and drop this street address. And then hit plus. And then let's do the city and state. And that is literally it. Now, if you want, you can add like a space, which I'm going to do. Hit apply, yes, okay, yes. And again, let's hit play. Let's see how this comes out. There we go. This full address field here contains the complete address. All right, easy, easy. All right, let's close out of this so we don't get any errors. All right, and let's clear that. What do we want to do now? Let us. Ooh, this one is a little different. Let's do a total where we add all of the charges here, so that every record that we create here is going to have a little total. Okay. Let us And again, this isn't scripted, so please kind of bear with me here. I'm sure some mistakes are going to be made, and I may not be using the best practices. But again, this is kind of just a simple example. All right, so we want to add totals, and we want to be able to look those up. So let's copy and paste this charges. So I'm just gonna copy, paste. Oh, you can use Control and the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Charges, okay. We want to sum up all of those amounts. So we're going to use the aggregate controller. So just start typing aggregate, hit enter, and you'll see there's T aggregate row. And let's call this, oh, double click it. Let's call this sum amounts. Okay, and then just right click and drag. And then double click the component. And let's go to edit schema. All right, nothing from the input is going to output, which we actually want everything. So let's hit sync columns. If we go back to edit schema, you can see it's all here. Everything that's coming in is the same stuff going out. So, okay, let's group by the customer ID and let us perform the operation of amount on amount. We're gonna, where is it? Sum, and that is it. That should be it. All right. Now, let's right-click and drag all the way down to combine everything. Because remember, the tmap component can take several inputs. Let's call this total rows. Again, you don't need to name everything, but if we're using this tmap function or tmap component, you'll see that it's really helpful to have everything together. Okay, so we need this new table to be linked up with everything else. Again, because what do they share in common? They all share the customer ID. So let's drag and drop that down to customer ID. And in the spreadsheet, let's make a new column called total. Total. You know, it should probably be near the amount. So let's, or no, it's fine where it is right now. Let us just drag and drop amount, because now that just contains all the totals of the charges for each customer. So that should be it. Crossing my fingers here. Yes. Okay. All right, let's give this a shot. That should work. Of course not. Can it convert? Oh, okay. It's saying that we tried to assign a number to a word, which you can't do. So you can see total here. We accidentally said it's a string when really it's a double. Remember? Hit apply, yes, okay, yes. All right, let's hit play again. Oh, you know what? Let's call this, because it's confusing to have two charges. Let's call this. Let's call it charges in parentheses. Totals. All right, now let's hit play. All right, let's go to the spreadsheet. And there you go. There is a total column here. So if we look at Monica, for example, these first three columns, the sum of all of her charges is 2360. So each record that will have the total amount And you'll see it's all here, $88.55. All these add up to that, each one of these records. Alright. Alright, we are coming along pretty quickly here. Alright, already showed how to do the full address. Alright, that's, I guess that's it. Let's go ahead and add these last fields, and we'll put them in this order. Alright, so combine everything. Alright, what order are we doing this? We need the ID, last name, first name. So ID, last name, let's move that up. First name, let's move that up. Charge date, charge amount. So charge date, I don't know if that's in here. Nope, alright, we'll add that. Date. Right there. I'll move that up. Move that up. Oops, date, then amount. Yep, okay. Then total and full address. So the total, let's move that up. There we go. Hit apply. Yes. Okay. Yes. And that's it. If we hit play, we go down. Let's look at our output file. And sure enough, bam. Everything is here.